I'm gonna fuck the drink. You don't give a fuck because you don't spend shit anyway.
What's good, y'all? It's your girl, Hell. Welcome to For What It's Worth. I'm Helen. Y'all know me by now. But thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Shout out to Wheel It Network. Make sure you're following us on all the things. Like, subscribe, do all of that. And make sure that you don't miss any of the shows. We got some really exciting things going on. A new show coming up. So make sure next week you catch China's Wave, the first episode. It's definitely going to be one to watch. If you're an artist, a local artist, not local artist, submit your music to the Gmail that's on her flyer. Get your music reviewed live, and definitely be a part of that show. It's going to be really exciting. So, it's been a good week. I hope y'all had a good week. I had a great week. The sun has calmed down. It's raining, and it's cooling things off around here. So I hope y'all are getting a little bit of that. It's definitely feeling like fall is creeping up on us. So, make sure you enjoy the rest of the summer. I'm going to be watching the comments. So make sure you are speaking to me in the comments, interact with me. We can definitely have some conversation back and forth in the comments. That'll be cool. So yeah, definitely thank you for hanging out with me. It's gonna be a good show. I got a lot of really cool topics for y'all. So I kind of gave you a teaser in the caption of the show, but this is gonna be one that you don't want to miss. We talking about OJ, we talking about the baby, we talking about McDonald's having donuts. We're gonna talk a little bit about sexuality. This is gonna be a real gay episode. I say that lovingly. I love the gays. That's my thing. But I saw some really, really crazy things about sexuality online this week. So we're gonna talk about it. Y'all know that we're gonna talk about it here. If anywhere there is to talk about it, we're gonna talk about it here. So first and foremost, I put a poll out there about OJ. I asked y'all if you think OJ did it. I got one person who said OJ didn't do it. I kind of expected there to be more, but one person said OJ didn't do it. The reason I asked is because I found an article this week where OJ was explaining why he does not go to LA. He said he does not go to LA and he stays away from it because he could be sitting next to the person who really did it. Y'all didn't hear me incorrectly. He may be sitting next to the person who really did it. He said his exact words were, people may think it's self-serving, but I might be sitting next to whoever did it. I really don't know who did this. So I'll let y'all sit with that. OJ says he didn't do it and he doesn't go to LA because he don't know who really did it. So we'll just leave it at that. But the poll says that we on the same page about how we feel about it. Also this week, Damon Wayans did a radio interview and he was talking about Versus. They asked him if he's been watching the Versus. And he said that he has not been watching. He asked if they did comedians. And the host said, you know what, that's a good idea. If they were to do a Versus with comedians, who would you want to go against? He called out Dave Chappelle. So whether or not it's going to happen, I don't know, but he put it out there that he would do a versus with Dave Chappelle. So we're going to put a poll up later to see if y'all think that's a good matchup. Who do you think would win in a versus between and Damon Wayans and Dave Chappelle? Who do you think would win that versus? Also this week, it came up that the family of the victim shot and killed by the baby in 2018 is now speaking out saying that it wasn't self-defense. If you're not aware of the incident that they're speaking about, in 2018, the baby shot a 19-year-old kid in a Walmart parking lot. He said that it was in self-defense. He said the kid tried to rob him. He was cleared of all charges, so he was never charged with anything. But the family's now speaking out saying that the baby is lying, and he's lying about the incident and has even bragged about it in his music, and they're super offended by it, and now they're talking about it. I didn't even know this incident happened, but apparently it happened. He was cleared. Now they're saying that it wasn't in self-defense. He's bragging about it, and I don't know what's going to come out of that. It's awfully convenient timing now that this is happening when he's going through the things that he's going through. So we'll see what comes out of it. I don't know. Also, McDonald's announced that they are going to be launching a glazed donut line that they'll be adding to their McCafe menu. So their dessert menu, the shakes, the frappes, all of that. There have been murmurs that they say it's going to be better than Krispy Kreme. I don't know how McDonald's could really achieve that in a McDonald's kitchen, but that's what they say. It's going to be better than Krispy Kreme. So keep an eye out for that, I guess. If you like Krispy Kreme donuts, see what McDonald's is talking about, I guess. Also, this week, there was a 7.2 magnitude earthquake in Haiti. So I just want to send love, prayers, all that to Haiti. Praying for their people. If you can help. If you can donate. Just be careful of where you donate and who you give your money to, because there are definitely scammers and scam organizations out there that will take advantage of the fact that this has happened and there's money being thrown out there. So definitely donate if you can find a legitimate organization to donate with, if you know someone there personally, if you know somebody going there to help, because that's the other thing I've heard is that there are people going over to help. Definitely donate your time. I doubt they need more people there, so I wouldn't say go help, but definitely donate if you can to help, and our thoughts and our prayers are with them. If you have family there, our thoughts and prayers are with you. It's definitely devastating considering all the devastation they've experienced from the last earthquakes. So definitely wanted to send my love and prayers to them. Also this week, Amber Rose came out about the fact that she is tired of being cheated on. She is tired of being taken for granted, and she is tired of publicly being embarrassed by the men in her life. I was reading through the comments. Yes, that's a statement in itself. I guess the allegation is that her son's father, her newest baby's father, is having an affair, was caught having affairs with multiple women, up to, I think the count was like up to 12 women. And she was just speaking out about how embarrassing it is, especially when you're a public figure, to go through something like that in the public eye has to be very, very devastating. And she's very, very vocal about it. And she has said that she is embarrassed. She's tired of going through this. She's tired of being publicly embarrassed. And I understand. I'm not in the public eye. But even when you privately go through something like that, it is embarrassing. And it does impact your self-worth and things like that. So I feel her. It's got to be magnified by 1,000 times being a person in her place where she is in the public eye all the time. So very, very, very devastating. And I really, really feel her pain with that. So wish her the best. And yeah, So that leads me to the next zone of the show. So that's the news for the week. Pretty cool things. So also this week, I have been kind of venturing out into new avenues and getting my information from different places to bring back to y'all for this show. So I have recently discovered a blog site called The Savoy Show. Now, I know it's popular. I know people know that it exists. It just newly existed to me. And it seemed like every time I went there, there was something about sexuality this week, whether it be, I'm going to kind of explain what I mean by that. So, first things first, there was a video posted about by a trans woman who was kissing a straight man, I would assume. I'm not sure. But the caption of the video said, "He doesn't know that I'm trans, should I tell him?" And the avalanche of comments that she got, she said she was getting death threats and all these kinds of things. And she followed up at the end of the video by saying, "Suck mine." So that leads me to my first topic about this, about sexuality for tonight, because that's going to be the main idea of the rest of the show is sexuality. Are you stripping a person of their consent by not divulging something like that about yourself? So she was saying that she was getting death threats, a lot of homophobic and transphobic comments, and basically said go F yourself at the end. But that the people who are coming at her do have a point. They do have a point. Are you stripping a person of their choice by not divulging something like that about yourself? I believe that everybody has a right to what information they share with people. I believe that you're not obligated to tell people everything about you unless you're intimately involved with them. I feel like if you're dating someone and you don't want to tell them at that point that you are trans, I don't think you're crossing any lines by not divulging that at that point. But once you cross that line into getting intimate, I believe you are not being honest. And for me, it's not necessarily the fact that you are trans that is the problem. It's the fact that you're being dishonest and you're crossing that line as well. So if you weren't crossing that line and not divulging, so I guess this is my standpoint on it. If you're not being intimate with a person and you don't divulge your status to them at that point, I don't feel like you're wrong for that. But once you get to the point of being intimate with someone and you don't divulge that information, that to me is crossing a line. And I feel like you are stripping that person of their choice. And I do feel like you are not being honest, which is the real problem. If you are going to the point of being intimate with a person, you should also be honest with that person. And by not telling them you're trans, you're not being honest. And that's the problem that I see with that situation. Doubling down on that conversation, there was also a video that came across from a woman who was saying that bisexual men do not need to tell you that they are bisexual if you're dating them. Her standpoint was, if you're dating them, they're dating you out loud and proud and showing you off, you're not entitled to that information about them. Nobody is entitled to the sexuality of someone, to knowing the sexuality of someone else. She says it does not matter who they're sleeping with or staying with, as long as when they're with you, they're with you. It's none of your business, is basically what she said. Now, going back to the last conversation, that's where I feel like you're crossing a line. Again, if you're being intimate with a person, they're entitled to know, and for you to be honest with them about your sexual behaviors, your sexual preferences. And I mean, I don't mean that as, I don't mean like you're obligated to tell them like what you like fetish wise and stuff like that. I'm just saying, if you have other partners, they're entitled to know that. That is something that they deserve to know. If you are seeing other people, they do deserve to know that too. So for me, again, it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter that it's if it's a man or a woman. At the end of the day, I feel like the person, once you cross the line with a person, they deserve that honesty from you. So that's my issue with it, is that you're not being honest. It doesn't matter who you love, who you like, who you sleep with. Honesty is what makes a difference. So, taking that conversation a step further, there was a video that I came across from a woman who is in a 21-year relationship with another woman, and they're married, but she came on social media to specifically address the fact that she was not gay. She wanted the public to understand that just because she's married to a woman, it does not make her gay. Her justification for this is, I'm not sexually attracted to women. My wife, even though she didn't call her her wife, she called her her spouse. She said, my spouse prefers for me not to treat her as a woman. She doesn't want to be treated as a woman, and she knows that that's not going to happen from me. She wants me to treat her as a man. And she does. She said, she does not want to do sexual things to a woman, therefore she is not gay, even though she is married to a woman. This is her justification for it. She wanted to make sure everybody understood, just because she's married to a woman, that does not make you gay. What makes you gay is having sexual desires for a woman and acting on them. So in her mind, as long as she is not performing sexual acts on a woman, she is not gay. Now, as we know, like, the definition of being gay is being in a same-sex relationship. There's nothing wrong with that. Part of me feels like she may have been fighting the stigma about being gay, and that's where she was coming from with that information, or the fact that she even felt like she needed to defend her position on it, because being gay is fine. And obviously she knows it's fine because she's married to a woman, but she doesn't want to be viewed as being gay, because to her, gay means that she sexually desires a female. Very confused, because to me, being in a same-sex relationship, sex meaning gender, that constitutes her as gay. She seems to believe that minus the sexual desire towards a woman, she is not gay, she's straight. And even at the end of the video, she said, I am a straight woman. So I feel like there's some confusion there about her sexual identity, which is fine. She's an older woman. She's in a relationship with a woman. She's married to her, and she's comfortable with that. But I just don't feel like she's clear about what it means to be gay. And she feels like maybe the negative stigma that she feels like exists towards gay women, she wants to de-identify with, and she really tried her best. The video was actually a series of 3 videos, and in all of these videos, she described from start to finish why she was not gay, and she wanted to make sure at the end that we understood why she was not gay and she is a straight woman, even though she's married to a woman. So I feel like my opinion of the situation she's fighting a stigma against being gay and what she feels like other people think that means. And to the point that she needed to publicly come and address it. And she even said in the video that her spouse does not make her get gay. So she thinks being gay is an act, which is why she came out this way and addressed the topic in the way that she did, because she feels like gayness is an act. It's not an act. It's like being gay is not doing something. It just is what it is. And I don't think she understood that. And she specifically didn't want to identify with being gay, which is fine. Everybody has their thing. And I guess that's her thing. So I will post some of these videos. I have the videos. We're going to play them. But tonight we're not going to do that. So I will post these videos in the group so you can see them and you can kind of understand what I'm talking about tonight. But it's interesting to see people's perspective on things like this, like being gay but not being gay. Someone believing that your partner doesn't need to divulge their sexual preference to you or their sexual mannerisms, I guess, if you want to call it that. And also someone thinking it's totally fine to be trans and be with a straight person and not tell them, not divulge that information. And by be with a person, I mean intimately be with a person and not divulge that. And then last but not least, the final topic that I wanted to talk about tonight, and I'll also post this video. I came across a young lady who said that Black people should consider polygamy after the community has healed. So her perspective is that polygamy done correctly, a healthy polygamous relationship builds community. It builds strong family values, strong family bonds. And she says that that's something that we're missing in the Black community, is the sense of community, the sense of value, the sense of working together to raise kids, working together to have family. All of those things that I feel like when I was a kid, I experienced my mom and her friends raising their kids together. I experienced going to a community center where all of the kids went all summer and knowing that we were safe. Excuse me. And I do feel like that's missing this day and age. And we do need more of that. Her viewpoint on it, I feel like, does have some validity. Do I think that you necessarily need to explore polygamy to do that? Not necessarily. She also said that think of all of the baby mama, baby daddy relationships where if a man had just nurtured a healthy polygamous relationship instead of going from place to place and baby mama drama and having children spread out in so many different places, what their family unit could look like if they had gone about it a different way. Again, it's a valid point. If we had gone about it a different way, what could have been what could it have been? Now, I will say my viewpoint on polygamy is to each their own. I've said that before. I'll say it again. I have seen versions of polygamy that I think do work well for the people who do it. I do feel like there's a lot of self-awareness in those situations. You have to be self-aware and you have to check your emotions and check your feelings a lot in those situations. I don't personally know any polygamists, so I'm definitely going off of the outside looking in on public polygamous situations, which we know are not always 100% true. But the idea of it, I have the guilty pleasure of watching Sister Wives. I've probably seen all of the seasons and all of the episodes. And I was always amazed at how well and how normal they seem to be. And yes, they have a lot of issues, which is why they have a show, because there's a lot of drama. Some of it's probably made up. But at the end of the day, like, their kids were so normal and so well-rounded, and they were raising like really good, decent humans. And it just made me think, like, all of the things that I ever thought about polygamy, I get why some people choose it. Could it ever be for me? Probably not. That's probably not ever going to be for me. But I understand the point. Now, and when I say polygamy, I'm not talking about the Utah polygamists where they were marrying children and stuff like that. That's not what I mean. I mean consenting adults choosing to raise their families together in a healthy way. I get why some people would choose that. I get why someone would choose to have extra moms, if you want to think about it like that. I understood the dynamic that they were going for, and I saw it working, so it made some sense to me. But I would never choose that for myself, just because I don't feel like that would be an environment that I would flourish in. But I do understand why some people might do it. So thinking about it in that sense, if you had the choice to have a healthy relationship where your husband had other wives and you had a team, that's what they are, is that they're a team. So they collaborate to raise their children together, and it works for them. Like, it works for them, and it even enabled some of them to have the lives that they want outside of the house while someone maintains the children. So one went out and worked, and then the other one stayed home and raised the kids. And then when she got to a point where she wanted to have a business of her own, she started her own business. And then there was a third wife to like take over the kids. So I get that the dynamic of community, I do understand it. But if it was you, do you think that you could be a sister wife if you're a woman? And as a man, do you think that you can maintain a family of multiple wives, or would you even want that? So I'm gonna put a open question about this in the group, and I really, really want y'all's opinions. What is your position on polygamy and why? I'm very, very interested. So that is it for me. Just saw a comment pop up. But yeah, that's it for me this week. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, and we will do it all over again. Make sure you're following us on all the things. Wheel Network, YouTube, Instagram, Bigo. Make sure you're following on all of the places. Like, subscribe, do all of that. Follow me on Instagram. It is at HellRellBaby with 2 Y's, HellRellBabyy, 2 Y's on Instagram. And definitely make sure you are watching the group. If you are watching this on YouTube or watching the replay and you would like to join the group, mention it in the comments, and I will make sure that we get you on Facebook, add you to the group so you can interact with us all week. All the other days, I'm active on my Instagram, Facebook. Make sure you add me. Make sure you talk to me. If there's something that you want to see, let me know and I will make it happen. And other than that, I will see y'all next week, 9 o'clock, Wednesday night, Wheel It Network, all the things. Definitely come kick it with me, and I will see y'all then. Have a good night. Have a good week. And I will see you next Wednesday. Don't forget, make sure you check out China's Wave on Tuesdays. Local artists, make sure you are sending her your music to get a live review. That show is going to be really dope. So you are going to want to be a part of it. Make sure that if you are an artist, you send her your music. She will give you a review live. Your music will get heard. It's a win-win for everybody. So I will catch y'all next week. Holla at me on social media in the meantime. Other than that, y'all have a good week. I will see you next week, Wednesday, 9 o'clock.